guessing 10 surprisingly high protein foods for your GLP-1 success. Hi friends, if we don't know each other, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've lost over 112 pounds from my GLP-1 weight loss in almost the last 3 years. I started in January, so soon to be 3-year anniversary on Zepbound, Manjaro, and GLP-1 plus GIP, which is Tirzepatide compound, which I am currently on now. And on today's episode, I want to deep dive into some surprising high protein foods. For GLP-1 weight loss, we know that muscle mass loss, look at that muscle, you need to see it right there, is a big part for any sort of weight loss, not just GLP-1 weight loss, but for weight loss in general, we need to be focusing in on protein. And so I've got 10 items here today with me we're gonna talk about that are actually very surprising. When I started to do research for this concept in my free encouragement group at countessofshopping.com/group, I will link that in the description, as is the source for this. It was Food and Wine had done an article with a dietitian talking about these foods. And I was like, oh my goodness. So number one out of our list of 10 is with high protein, 7 grams of protein per 2 ounces, which is about 1/4 of a cup, is pasta. I'm like shocked. Are you guys shocked about that? Maybe some of you are. I was shocked. I'm like, pasta. And I know for my blood sugars, I'm not crazy about having a lot of pasta, but 1/4 of a cup of pasta to have 7 grams of protein, super helpful. Adding things in like chicken sausage, you can really boost up the pasta high protein meal with some chicken sausage, low calorie, high protein for GLP-1 weight loss. With that, and then also adding in some bone broth into cooking it, and as opposed to draining it, that bone broth absorbs into the pasta for more. Now, PCOS Sam is the one I like to give her the credit for that concept. It blows my mind. I'm like, that is brilliant to get like a 30-40 gram protein meal that tastes exceptional. You could add some other things, which we're going to talk about too, to make it even more protein that are surprising as well. Now, one of the other things I've talked about is protein noodles. There's a brand called Goodles. I just got them from my Costco shopping haul. They're the cheddar mac. My kid loves these. I love them. They're really, really good. And it has in here also 1 cup prepared, 15 grams of protein. Okay. Like that to me, super, super surprising. Again, trying to bulk up for me. I typically have 100 to 130, 135 grams of protein per day. Do I hit that every day on my GLP-1 weight loss? No. The first 24 to 48 hours after my shot, I typically I can't hit that. I'm not eating that much. But day 5, half-life dose. Day 5, day 6, day 7, for sure, I'm hitting that. Next, high protein item is pistachios. I'm actually holding pecans because I was so surprised that pistachios was on this list. I recently had, when I went to Bergdorf's for lunch, a pistachio salad. Oh my gosh, if you're not putting pistachios on your salad, are you really living life? So I need to buy some. Pistachios have a whopping 6 grams per 1 ounce of protein. They're easy to put in your pocketbook or travel if you're going to like the gym or after work. They have little pistachio packets you can easily put into your pocketbook. It has on there in 1 serving, which is 49 nuts, actually has as much protein as an egg. I said as an egg. It has as much protein in those pistachio nuts as an egg. And it's also a good source for your gut. You can even add it to substitute for salads and for pesto. I'm like, that's a brilliant idea. I am taking that idea. That's really, really smart. And it also has a good source of fiber. If you haven't seen my fiber video down in my playlist about how people on GLP-1 frequently have constipation and are not regular, that could be something to help you with higher fiber in addition to higher protein as well, to help keep things moving and grooving on our GLP-1 weight loss journey. Now, up next, high protein foods for GLP-1 weight loss is not raspberries. I love raspberries, but they only have for 1 serving is 1 gram of protein. That's not good. That's not good. I love it for the fiber. If you want high fiber, this is an awesome choice. But if we're speaking strictly on high protein needs, guava, 4 grams of protein for 1 cup. I'm like, I need to go get some guava. Costco is selling guava at my Costco right now. I was like, that sounds delicious. Blueberries also only have 1 gram of protein, whereas the guava has 4. Guava also has vitamin C as well and fiber, particularly with cold and flu season. I'm like, I'm gonna get some guava. You could put it in a fruit platter, salad. You could pair it with cottage cheese. Y'all know my thoughts on cottage cheese, or with Greek yogurt. I would go for the Greek yogurt. That would be my pairing, is with the Greek yogurt. But whatever to help make it with the and then some as the accoutrement in some other type of high protein dish with cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, salad, whatever you wish. The world's your oyster. I'm like, that sounds really, really good. Now, I'm very loyal to raspberries. The Countess is very loyal to blueberries, but factoring 4 grams of protein per cup versus 1 gram of protein per cup, I'm gonna get me some guava as well for that high protein. And one of the best things for me with having high protein is also the benefits that I've seen with my skin, particularly loose skin from losing 112 pounds. Y'all feel me on the loose skin challenge? I'll be having loose skin removal surgery when I go see my plastic surgeon. I'm booked a year out for the consultation. One of the things I'm focusing on with these high protein items is actually Pique Life. I am obsessed with Pique Life. It's one of the drinks that I absolutely love. The Radiant Skin Duo Protocol is awesome. It has the Sun Goddess matcha. It's actually so delicious. And the BT fountain from Pique Life. You literally just take, it's so good. By the way, it has yuzu berry flavor, anything with yuzu in it. I'm like, let's get our yuzu on. But 1 to 2 sachets of these, put it first into one of your glass carafes, then add 12 to 16 ounces of cold water. Give it a little shake, shake, shake. It is so good, but helping with that, your skin with it as well, super, super beneficial because it has in there the green tea. Also helps to brighten and firm skin. It also has in there the highest quality top shelf minerals included with Pique Life. And it has in there the L-theanine, promotes balance, focus, and calm energy without jitters or caffeine crash. Y'all know I cannot have and cannot tolerate like a ton of coffee and things like that because it just makes me so jittery. That is absolutely why I love Pique Life, because I don't feel jittery. I don't have a caffeine crash after taking them, and they taste really good. The sachets make it super easy for travel too. So Pique Life has been super generous with the Countess of Shopping community to give us 20% off for life, honey. When you go to piquelife.com/queen, Queen. I will link it down in the description link below. It's awesome in terms of having this as your accoutrement with your high protein to have something for your gorgeous glowing skin as well. High protein food item that you may not expect is quinoa. 8 grams of protein per 1 cup. And that may not sound like a crazy amount, but it actually is in terms of the fiber that's also included in it as well. It has 5 grams of fiber per cup and minerals like iron and magnesium. Like if you ever have a lot of bruising, it's from low iron, so it's one of the reasons why I like quinoa. You can cook quinoa also with bone broth in it to help add extra protein in there. You could also add in, oh, my chicken sausage over there. You could add in meats with this too to even crank up more protein to have a fiber protein bowl with it. Add in some fresh cut vegetables in there too if you wanted to have ribbons, carrot ribbons in there, or onions or zucchini or a ton. You can add in a ton of vegetables too if you like volume eating. I definitely do, to eat more of it. You could also put in there, you can use it for grain bowls and veggie burgers, salads. Adding a little bit of nutty texture to it to a salad is a really, really nice addition to be able to have with quinoa. That's one that I'm like, oh, I think of it as a grain and I think of it in terms of fiber and not necessarily in terms of protein, but it is high protein, 8 grams. And then you can do all of these additional things on top of it to really boost up the protein while not being bland or just having a burger every day or a piece of chicken breast every day for high protein. Chia seeds. Y'all know my love for chia seeds runs deep. I love me some chia seeds. Now, here's why chia seeds are cool. If you don't, I got these from Costco because of my bulk shopping. You can get them on Amazon also. Really, really easy. But let me show you here how much protein. Look at this. Watch. 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. It's a lot. Like the volume of this, if you are a volume eater like I am, look how much that is. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's 5 grams of protein in there. It's a lot of texture. So 5 grams of protein, 2.5 tablespoons, is actually 150 calories. So if you're on a low calorie, high protein diet, which I'm doing to help with body recomposition with my lifting, that's a tremendous amount. And in fact, I will break that up over the course of the day. I love having it in my fruit bowls. I'll have Greek yogurt. I love like a Faye Greek yogurt type thing, or the Oikos, is that how you say Oikos, high protein yogurt. This on top, fruit, and just a few pecans, but I'm gonna look into maybe pistachios instead. Like that's awesome. That is a big quantity of chia seeds to be able to have in there. For 5 grams of protein. You could make chia seed pudding, add it with a little bit of unsweetened coconut milk in there, or almond milk. You can make a delicious overnight, quote, oats, but really with the chia seeds in there too. Great for your heart, great for your gut function. You can add it with fruit. You can top it with oatmeal. I also do that when I make oatmeal too. I will top this on top to add a little bit of extra texture. When you cook oatmeal, for me, it's a little mushy. This adds a little bit of texture. If you add it with water, it does get a little gelatinous, so the texture changes with it. But that, it's like a roto-rooter. It pushes through your intestines and is really good to help with regularity, particularly if you're on a GLP1 journey and you're having diarrhea, constipation, nausea, or vomiting. For me, it's one of the things I really, really like for high protein. That's easy because it is also shelf stable. The expiration date on this, I don't even know. It's a long ways away. 2027, so 2 years from now. So you can keep it for quite some time while getting high, and it's not crazy expensive either. The next high protein item that you probably already know but may not think about in terms of high protein specifically is Parmesan cheese. Now I'm holding up a big block of cheese. And I have, of course, my Parmesan shaker cheese, which this is more the block of cheese as opposed, this is like super processed. We have this sometimes just to have super processed, just to be able to easily have royal living, meaning real life. But with Parmesan cheese, 10 grams of protein per 1 ounce. I'm like, and then you can, where's my little, I was gonna say, here's where all my utensils are. You can use it on a cheese grater to make it deliciously like fresh, really, really fresh. You could put that on top of your pasta. You could put it on top of soups. You could put it on top of the quinoa bowls we talked about. But really, it's like a protein bar. 10 grams of protein for 1 ounce of Parmesan cheese. The Parmigiano is super, super protein dense. It is a complete protein, so it has 9 essential amino acids in there as well. Who knew? You can put it on salads, soups, pasta, risotto, quinoa, have it as a post-workout snack. And one of the things that I love, she's become one of my new favorite creators. Her name's Leah Victoria, likes to put the Parmigiano rind in the freezer when she's done with it, and then she'll add that to soups when she's making a soup. You just take the rind out, you let it dissolve a little bit and then put it in to add more flavor to soups. You can add those to other dishes, but mainly like soups or stews. I'm like, what a brilliant idea to use the leftover. I always throw out my rinds, and now I feel like I'm an idiot. Like, I gotta keep those rinds. So not only are you getting high protein, but you could also put the rind component into your soups later. Just make sure you take the rind out before serving it. But I love this. I thought that was I was super surprised. I was like, that much high protein in Parmesan cheese? Did you know that? Tell me in the comments below. Did you know that? Y'all know my fabulous love of oats is another high protein item. Surprisingly, we put our oats in this cute jar, absolutely obsessed, but it has in there 5 grams of protein per half cup. So literally you can use, it's like a lot, this much for 5 grams of protein. Like, that's awesome. And that's not that many calories, by the way, for that. It's super, super fiber. So when I think of oats, I definitely think of fiber. I think of that roto-rooter through my stomach for GLP1 weight loss. But it has in there 4 grams of fiber. It has beta glucan in there, which is also, I've talked about that so much and done so many videos on why that's helpful for lowering cholesterol. But it has 5 grams of protein. So staying full after eating this, I will add to my oats, which now I have most days. I haven't had mine yet today, but I will be after this video for my breakfast, but it's really like a pre-lunch. I'll have this, a ton of fruit, a ton, where's my raspberries? A ton of fruit in it, a little bit of chia seeds, and sometimes I add a little bit of honey if I'm feeling footloose and fancy free. Sometimes I add some pecans on top of there. You can make this, by the way, and then you can add in whole milk if you want some more calcium in there. You can add in almond milk if you wanted some protein in there. You can add, or water for not having more calories, to be a low calorie option. You could also you can bake with oats too. It's another thing, like you could make like oat squares and things like that. There's a lot that you can do for meal prep. Overnight oats. There's a ton of stuff. You could add protein to it, slivered almonds to it to make it high protein. You could even add your protein powder to it. Now, I would recommend if you add protein powder to your hot oatmeal, don't add the protein powder in and then microwave it or cook it on a hot surface. Add the protein powder after it's been cooked, and then you can blend it. I used to do that a ton. I just got sick of the texture with it, which is why I've stopped, and now I just have my protein shake separate. For me, for volume-based eating on day 5, day 6, day 7, when I am hungrier with GLP-1 weight loss, I find that's actually better. But it's another great option to have a really satisfying breakfast or even like lunch. Or sometimes I'll even have it as like an after dinner snack. Like, it is so filling with high protein in there. Like, it's another great high protein option that you don't have to break the bank in terms of calories for while getting really full. Next one is nutritional yeast. I had some nutritional yeast, but I just never used it back in the day. And it has in there, vegans actually swear by it because it has a cheesy flavor for the high protein, 8 grams of protein for 1/4 of a cup. So that's a lot, 8 grams of protein, that's quite a bit. I'm like, I've gotta go buy some. I've gotta go buy some nutritional yeast. You can put the cheesy flavor on top of popcorn, mac and cheese. You can even add that to your protein pasta if you wanted to. You could have it you can add it into a shake if you wanted as well. It has B12, vitamin B12 in it too. So it helps with brain functions as well. But you can add it pastas, salads, roasted vegetables. I hadn't thought about that. Like if you roasted some carrots or roasted some like root vegetables, you could add it on top of there too. Roasted broccoli, if you wanted to do that in your oven, sprinkle some on top, but it's giving you that extra 8 grams of protein per 1/4 a cup with nutritional yeast. That's awesome. It's really another great way to jack up that high protein, help with that muscle, building that muscle as well on a GLP-1 diet, and also not breaking the bank in terms of like a low calorie diet that's high protein. Green peas are the next awesome high protein food for your GLP-1 weight loss journey. Green peas have 8 grams of protein per cup. A big cup, that's also a lot of fiber in there too. I did not realize how much protein green peas had in there. I'm like, I need to be eating more green peas. You can actually get these from farmers markets too. That makes it fun in the springtime, or you can keep them frozen. So if you want to pop them into your freezer so you have them and not have to worry about them being fresh in the refrigerator, which for me, a lot of things unfortunately die in the refrigerator because I forget about them. Having a frozen vegetable to be able to pop out that is great for a protein side dish. If you wanted to be able to add those as some accoutrement for you, that is an awesome option to be able to do. You can mix it into pasta, fried rice, casseroles. Now my hot husband hates peas. He'd rather have peas in his eyes than peas in his mouth. I love peas, as does my son. So we have in the freezer a ton of green peas. You can get them at big bulk stores as well. It's a really awesome way to get your protein in through a frozen vegetable. Bone broth is our other big option in terms of, as I'm spilling all my bone broth, high protein. You probably thought of it, but is it on your radar to drink it often? For me, putting this in, not just like sipping on bone broth, but bone broth has in there for 8 ounces, so 1 cup, 9 grams of protein. But you can add this to so many things like casseroles, soups, pastas. Now I did buy bone broth soup. You can make your own. I bought the chicken noodle soup option, which has in here for the chicken noodle soup, 1 cup has 5 grams of protein with the bone broth included in the bone broth protein soup. Vegetable quinoa bone broth, and that has 90 calories for 1 cup and 5 grams of protein. But to have 9 grams of protein in 1 cup of this, you could, and it's 45 calories, by the way. So typically I look for like 100 calories to 10 grams of protein. So the fact that it's actually double what I'd be looking for is an awesome winner chicken dinner. But starting to think of how you can incorporate that into more soups, casseroles, things like that. I don't think in terms of that. So when I think of making like pasta to boost it up, that is a great option to be able to use in with it as well. Or even if you're putting in like your peas, for example, if you were putting those to boil water with it, why not boil it with some of the bone broth? That may not fit for everybody, but for some people that may make sense to sneak it in, which is what I like to do. I like to sneak in fiber and protein where I can. How can I add just a little bit into my existing dish to bump it up to get more protein with it? So today, you've got now 10 ways you can walk away with, immediately hit your protein goals higher. And one of the things that I also love to have in addition to my protein is my Pique Life. You can use the discount code QUEEN. A ton of savings on there too. My particular favorites, I love the bundle set of these as well for the radiant skin. I will link that down in the description link below. Our emoji of the day today is going to be tea. And that tells me that you made it this far in the video. If you made it this far in the video, you're a bestie. And I want to know you. And how I get to know you is the pattern recognition of seeing your name over and over. So today's emoji of the day is tea. And it's also my bat signal to pray over you if you don't believe in prayer, uplift you in positive thought, as all are welcome at the Countess of Shopping table. My sweet friends, let's get our tea on. Let's get our high protein on. Let's do this. Let's change our lives with GLP-1 weight loss. Let's focus in on that high protein, making sustainable lifestyle habits with our food choices and our exercise choices. My sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. Love y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys. Have a great day.